Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nod it down, 9, nod, 10. Stretch your neck now, make sure it's stretching, ready, 1, stick out your chin, bring it in, 3, 4, it's okay to use your waist and upper body and core, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders, lift them up, drop them down, lift them up, curl them forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Use your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. Turn at the hips and waist. Are you peeking at the heel of your opposite foot? What does that mean? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift your weight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. Arch your back. Go down by touching your legs and knees and thighs, and also when you come back up. That's a way of centering. 6, 7. Let your body go down. Get that swing to come back up. Last one. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give yourself space so that your knees turn, your hips turn, your ankles turn, everything turns. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful, shift your weight to the left, root down, kick your right. 1, 2, use that whole leg, not just your lower leg to kick out. 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. Make sure you use your ankles. 1. What do you mean by using your ankles? Ask yourself, are you bending or flexing your ankle to really try to touch your butt? Or are you keeping it stiff? 9, 10. Good. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3. Use your ankles again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman. Parallel feet. Choose the right side. Shift your weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cross and shift your weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Do what I'm doing and see how you can incorporate all those good stuff that you've been learning about Tai Chi. Okay, and we'll go over it after we test it out. Shift your weight to the left. Okay, it doesn't matter, you're going to do both sides. Okay? Say, look, chat, bat, go, sup, reverse, counterclockwise. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Other side. Okay, so you're kind of watching me. You're kind of doing your own thing, which is good. But your job is to figure out what's the best way to do this according to you, your mind, and your system. Okay? Shift weight to the right, circle, counter. Yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup, reverse, yat, ni, sam, say, look, chat, bat, go, sup. Okay, now we're going to go over some of the things. Anybody want to tell me if it was easy, hard, or what you did to survive? Real fast, Eileen?
Harder on one side than the other.
Yeah, and your left was maybe harder?
Actually, it was harder when I put my weight on my right.
Okay, good.
But it had a
Okay, but did you use any strategies to try to?
yeah, I kind of tried to sink into my foot, but I still had my toe down.
All right, very good, thanks for sharing. Somebody else, anybody else? How many say it was kind of easy? Well, nobody wants to say that, okay. All right, it's kind of hard to do it correctly. And I didn't give you many guidelines and on purpose, okay? So there are going to be 3 exercises that I'm going to teach you that are taken from Lutonkin. Marge is familiar with that. And it addresses the ankles as well as the wrists, okay? So in the circling exercise, you plant your foot because you know that that's going to be gravity, obeying gravity. The other foot that's going to circle is your insubstantial. But you don't want to create circles like this because you want to be able to use your whole muscle, your big muscles, okay? And you found yourself maybe tilting. Why do you think you tilt? What do you know? What do you know in your background that to not tilt and fall down, you need to obey gravity, you need to post yourself. And like Eileen said, when she found that she was faltering, she made sure that she was fully weighted, maybe coming down, but also thinking about danten. You have a danten, you know that's your center of gravity, and you're trying to stabilize yourself and focus and concentrate, yet keeping 2 inches, not more than 2 inches above the ground. If you go any higher, you're addressing only smaller movement, smaller muscles. You want the whole, okay? Also, planning down, centering yourself, and keeping the movement right in this area rather than way out here. And way out here then makes it higher than 2 inches. So it's just in this area, shifting of weight, calling attention to your danten, okay? Focusing. All right, so we're gonna warm up it that way using our ankles. Now, if you felt like ankles were stiff and you're doing everything right, still very wrong. You want to swing to get the ankle moving. It's an ankle and a leg exercise. This is going to be harder, but you're ready for the challenge. This time you're going to ride the bicycle. How do you ride the bicycle? Press down, bring it back, press down, right? But we're going to add another component. We're going to ride the bicycle backwards. We're going to ride the bicycle backwards, okay? There's a pile of sand here. First we want to kick up the sand, and then we want to pedal down on it, concentrating on the leg, but also on our ankle, flexing, okay? All right, shift your weight to the left, pile of sand, kick it up. Yat, ni, sam, se, look, chut, bat, go, sup, pedal forward, yat, ni, sam, se, look, chut, bat, go, sup. Other side, shift weight, and I usually like to just kind of flex my ankles so to warm it up. Okay, here we go. Kick up the sand. Yat, ni, sam, se, look, chut, bat, go, sup, pedal forward, yat, flex and point, flex and point. Look, chut, bat, go, sup. Okay, good. So we can get better, right? We can get gooder, okay? We're good, we're not get very good. Incorporate what you know about Tai Chi. You know that when we kick up the sand, we don't want to be out here. We want to center, so we're more likely to come towards the center of our body. When we pedal, we want to come here. We don't want to go there or anything in between that. Center, you want to root down. You want to have good Tai Chi posture. Okay, use what you have. You have a lot, but you got to incorporate it, not only in this exercise, but hopefully with every activity. When we pedal backwards as well as forward, the leg comes up and the knee, the ankle goes this kind of stuff, okay? This kind of stuff. When it comes forward, it clamps down on that pedal. It pushes down because you want to what? Keep these guys flexible. Can you see that if they're real flexible, you can do more in your Tai Chi, okay? So it's not just a circle, but it's circle and press down and circle and push forward kind of thing, okay? All right, any questions?
Reason why we're trying to introduce ankle exercises is I was reading an article, which is the kind of articles I probably was reading when I was actively practicing. It has to do with balance from a, quote, Western standpoint. And although in Tai Chi we say, try to learn to move all of your joints, we've never emphasized the ankle. But the article I read, which has to do with balance rehabilitation, they emphasize that the function of the ankle is very important in terms of helping you balance. And so, although we say move all of your joints, we're now trying to say exercise the ankle more, and that might be helpful. And how it fits. Tai Chi uses all of the joints because one aspect by which we orientate ourselves in terms of not falling down to the ground or knowing where we are, is a thing which is called proprioception, which is a long way of saying your joints give you information to your brain as to where your given appendage or part of your body is in relationship to what's around you. You could close your eyes, and if you could stand in one place and you not fall back or do it this way, then your proprioception, because you can't see, and your inner ear if it's working okay, that's good too. But when your eyes are closed, you have to rely on what your joints information they're giving as to what kind of weight is being put at what place, what joint, so that you can stand up straight. And that's what we're trying to emphasize now.
Okay, good. And we'll get down deeper as we get better, okay? So I said we would learn 3, and that was 2. So just like the ankle, our wrists are important. Actually, Donna's, they're smiling because this is old stuff for her too, because she was in Luktonkin. All right, so we said our wrists are important. Okay, at this time, our shoulders are stiff, our chest is opened up, and our feet are apart, and we're going to make circles. Ready, go. Yat, ni, sam, se, full circles. Look, chut, bat, go. Palms are up. Backwards. Yat, fling them out. Sam, se, look, chut, bat, go, sup. Okay, so very good. Good following, good listeners. Don't forget, just because it's a wrist exercise that you just don't stay here and do. But you use, what do you use? You're using your upper body, you're using core. You're using, I'm counting, but I'm using my shoulders, using everything. In some ways, I'm using my leg because I'm coming down, coming up, coming down, coming up. Use everything about you, okay? That's the whole point of introducing new exercises. Okay. There are many ways in which I can do this lesson, and I think we are now going to look at golden cockerel, okay? Good Tai Chi posture, go through your spine, create spirals, shifting weight, rotating on that spindle, centering and counterbalancing, all those things that you know about. One last set. Kicking out. Remember, gather energy, concentrate 2 inches below your navel to collect all that energy to center. Come up and tuck those elbows. Follow and counterbalance. Shift the weight, center. Spiral, semicircle. Last set. Holding our ball, Yang 24, concentrating on Tai Chi walk. Here we go. Out and to the side, over the hill and down, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, walk in that direction, heel out, bow the legs. Drop the elbow, drop your shoulders. Half step, spin, look, drop the shoulders. Bisect, swirl back, lift up, drop shoulders. Bow the legs, drop shoulders. Drop shoulders. Half step. Spin, rock, drop shoulders. Drop shoulders. Drop shoulders. Drop shoulders. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, drop. Okay, I'm not just saying it now. Make sure you are applying what I say. And to the point where you can say it to yourself because you understand what it means. 2, drop. Here's a good example, but it's not only in this movement. Do not create tension by lifting your shoulders. So everything we do is dropped. Hands go for the ride. Drop. Half step. What? Drop. And big drop. Not racing. And definitely drop. Center up, out, and drop. And drop. 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 Drop, drop, drop. Drop, drop. Half step, and definitely drop. Hands go for the ride. And drop. Still drop, still drop, still drop, continuously drop. Drop, drop. How many drops? Drop. Say it. Okay. So obviously, the focus for today is dropping shoulders. Well, that's not a big deal. But when so Eileen is very honest. She's going, well, maybe, maybe not. Because I was going to say in the next sentence that when I edit and watch you, I see the shoulder going up, you know, and that's an extreme. But what I'm seeing is this guy is coming up. Can you show me how this guy is going up? Any hand. Just the sensation that it's going up. The other hand, you don't want that. So you're saying, well, how can I hold my ball if I don't raise my shoulder? You set your level already once you have your Tai Chi posture. You have a T, and look, my shoulder is in play. My core is helping me to form that ball, but I'm not coming up for, I want to say, air. No matter how much, this guy never comes up. This guy never comes up, no matter how small. And it's not just parting of the wild horse's mane and holding your ball. It's also this. Yeah, the hand comes up, but the shoulder does not come up. Spin up, and then you have it definitely down. But this shoulder is never tensed up to be raised. So what did I say? In dropping your shoulders, it applies throughout with what I was trying to do the 24 with, which is the entire, could include the 10 and could include the 16 and could include the 88 and blah, 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 on and on. So the premise in which we're learning Tai Chi is the shoulders always drop, because we learned that on day one. You drop your shoulders so that your middle finger comes to the side seam of your pants. So the obvious one is cloud hands. Okay, we're going to do that to make it really clear. It's not only holding the ball, it's not only white crane, it's not only cloud hands, but that's our lesson for today. All right, so let's do the 10 cloud hands, okay? So how do we get into it? Part the wild horse's mane. 10-4. Okay, 9 o'clock, two things happen. 12, 3 o'clock, flip me close. 12, sort of wrong. 9 o'clock, out. Okay, use your hips and waist, but what are we trying to show? One more. The shoulders are dropped. Hands go for the ride. Two things happen at 3 o'clock. Okay, and even when we do our golden cockerel, what? Obviously one drops, but even the one that comes up only comes up without being raised. It's only being brought up because that right hand comes up higher, right? There's a big difference. Again, kicking out, the shoulders are still dropped. They are at the same level, but they feel as if they're higher because our core is bringing it to another level, but not raising it. Of course, when you shift your weight, you can feel there is definitely a drop. But what I want to do beyond that is to let you or make you realize that never in doing Tai Chi that I've taught you is there any tension created by lifting those shoulders. Definitely a drop because you're sitting down and coming up, but the shoulders are only coming up to another level because your core is allowing it to come up. Okay, now don't forget, the elbows are tucked in rather than like this. So you want to tuck it in. Use your core to push out. Drop, only because, why? You're flexing your knee. It's not because you're doing this. It's not because you're doing this, it's because you have it set up and what? Gravity's taking care because you're lowering yourself, okay? So definitely core driven, mind driven, hips and waist driven, flexing, okay? Dropping of the shoulders, all right? Going to now, moving into the 16, but first, let's make a little bit clear what it means to drop your shoulders. How do you play your lute in the 24? You have just finished brush knee, okay? Everybody brush knee with your left foot advance, brush knee. Half step, steer that wheel, weight on the back, to the toe, set it on its heel. This is how you play your lute. How do you play your lute again? Brush knee, final, 24. Half step, sit back, rock the front, reposition by steering that wheel on your heel. So at no time did your shoulders raise. In fact, they dropped a little lower because you have a rooted back foot. All right? So what we did was we advanced the left and we sat back. How did we do that? Advance to the front, sit back. How did we do it? Stay where you are, advance the left, shifted our weight to sit back. Do it and watch what I'm doing. I have two final movements rolled into one. I sat back, sat down, gathered more energy as I flexed my back leg. Okay? So that's the playing of the lute in the 24, but we know that in the 16 we play our lute in the opposite way. So this time the right foot, 2 feet on 2 different lines, advance the right, put out 45 the left. Okay, not too big a span. Come forward, sit back. Come forward, flex back, sit down. And sit down. All right, now we're going to put the real lute together. Okay, sit back. Left hand, right hand short of the left hand, right hand short of the left hand. This is a sensation that I want you to create. It's rooting yourself, shifting of weight, dropping down. Shifting your weight, dropping down. Shoulders are already dropped, but they're dropping lower because you are storing that energy. Okay? So this is something you know, but maybe can do it a little bit better. At the same time, we're gaining muscle strength by constantly repeating it as a drill. What about this now? What about this? You're shifting your weight, or your weight is already on the back, but you're coming down a little bit more. Coming down, and if you come down, you're coming down, this guy's gaining more power, more power. So we could do that also, just like how we did. Play your lute, come down, or come down, right? A little bit awkward because we're taking it out of context, but the generality or the generalization remains the same. You're gaining more weight in the back by leaving it weighting the front, but at the same time, your shoulders do not come up and then drop down. They are already down, but they are looks as if it's going up only because the core is warranting it. All right, let's do the needle to the bottom of the C 5 times in the 24 first, switch it then to the 5 times of the 16, which is the opposite way, okay? Needle to the bottom of the C, left foot forward, lift up the front, down to the bottom of the seat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's in the 24, okay? So we're gonna wiggle around. This time we're gonna advance the right, and we're coming up. Three, 4, 5. Okay, a little bit awkward, but you get the point that what I want to share with you or make you focus on is that, yes, definitely the shoulders are never raised because it causes tension, but they're always dropped and set once you have your Tai Chi posture in commencing form, every time, okay? And dropping of the shoulders apply not to just the few movements that we shared or did, but throughout all of Tai Chi. The second element that we focused on is that planting or rooting or obeying gravity is, yes, sitting back and sitting down, but can you even do it a little bit more? And that was the purpose of this, and that was the purpose of this. No matter what side, that sensation, that planting and rooting down is always there, okay? Any questions on that now? Okay, so right away we know that it's good Tai Chi posture. It's the hips and waists that are generating our movements with our mind. We know that the hands definitely go for the ride. Did I do this one for you? So no matter where my hand is, if my waist is moving, the hands go for the ride. But once I don't move my waist and I only move my hands, hands do not go for the ride. They're generating the movement, which is wrong. So you want to be able to turn and spin on your axle. And the only way, or the best way, is to turn the hips and waist. Okay? All right. 16 now, okay? Young 16, trying to incorporate not only the sequence, but the elements that generate the principles of what Tai Chi is all about, okay? All right. Young 16, here we go. 50-50, commencing form, shift weight, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate. Deep breath, use your core. Drop down, flex knees. No raising of shoulder. T stance. L stance, move that ball. Round the crotch. Part the wild horse's mane. Keeping that hand that's forward way up by your eye level. Sit back, sit down. Walk in that direction. Heel out, turn the ball, round the crotch. Part 2. Half step. Spin the ball, left hand comes up, right foot goes to its toe, lift up, set it down. Make sure that there's a edge that's crossing the baby finger. Drop the front foot, tuck that elbow in as you bisect to your danten. Swirl back with your right and left hand. Lift up the front foot, down, round the crotch, brush knee 1. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, shift weight, ground the crotch, multitask, brush knee final. Sit back, sit down, as if you're going to do another brush knee. Fist the right hand, left hand higher, exchange places, heel out, deflect, pull it in as you parry, shift your weight as you punch. Touch, eye level, sit down, lower yourself, up, lunge forward, flatten foot. Pivot on your back heel as you try to form a hook. Right front foot pivots also. T stance, out and to the side, turn the palm, single whip. Half step forward, swirl the back hand, rock the front foot to its toe, play your lute. Do you have that sensation? Are your shoulders dropped? Pivot the front foot, pirouette the back foot, spin out with your right heel as you reposition your hand, L stance, turn the ball up to the forehead, then turn the hips and waist shuttle left. Sit back, sit down, take an in pivot to hold your ball, take an out heel, spin the ball first, as it goes to the forehead, turn the hips and waist, maiden on her right. Half step to the back, across the hips and waist, set up the left hand, needle to the bottom of the C, dropping, one hand, two hands, touch, lift up the front foot, stretch it out with the knee, flash arms, dropping shoulders. Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Dropping shoulders, of course. You're going to 3 o'clock, close the feet, shift into a ball and a T, root it down. Out with your L, ward off. Turn hips, hands go for the ride, even at this position, all the time. Even now. How do they get down? Because you're sitting down. How are they getting up? Because you're rising up and lunging forward. Hands do go definitely for that ride. Ward off. Don't pull back, you sit back and sit down. Don't push forward, you shift your weight. Embrace, cross first and then bring your foot in. Bring the tiger close to you, then a little closer. Use your core to push out, keeping those elbows always tuck in. Gravity, not hands, then shift weight and come to a 50-50. Okay, so I recall that when we did our 16, there was an area that I was saying, wait, is it now repulsing of the monkey? And you recall that because it kind of interrupted your routine. But it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be because I was trying to voice things, okay? So to take advantage of a new lesson is to sort of wipe out some of the things you've learned before and just take it as a fresh lesson. So this time around, I'm gonna do the 16 and we're just gonna do less of the instructions, but I'm gonna put that responsibility on you to recall what was sort of said to you in previous classes regarding shifting of weight, rooting yourselves, hips and waist drive the movement, and lowering your shoulder. Here we go, Yang 16. Shift weight, commencing form. Deep breath. Reverse, tuck, flex. Part the wild horse's mane. Bow the legs. Final parting of the wild horse's mane. Half step. Spin as you watch that left hand. set it down, drop, bisect, swirl back, lift up, brush knee, 1. And bow the legs, 2. As if you're doing a third, fist the right hand, left hand higher, comes down, exchanges places, deflect, bring it in as you parry, step out as you punch, touch, sit down, sit back. Hands go for the ride. Pivot on the back, pivot on the front, shift the weight as you hook, across the face, L stance, single whip. Half step, swirl, rock, place it on its heel. Okay, repulse 2 times. All right, now, pivot means the front foot. Shift your weight to the toe, that's a pirouette. Kick out with the right heel as you hold your ball. Out with your left on the L stance. Turn, spin the ball, turn the hips and waist, maiden on her left. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, pivot in, hold ball, L stance, spin the ball first as it goes to your forehead, turn the hips and waist, maiden on her right. Half step to the back, cross the hips and waist, set up the left hand, bend, hips and waist. 1 hand, 2 hands, touch, lift up. Drop shoulders. Sit back, cup, twist, 9 o'clock. Cloud hands, 3 o'clock. 2 things happen, hips and waist. Hands go for the ride. Force your hips, force your waist. T-ball, out L, round the crotch. Sit down, flex the back. Contact, turn hips, waist, push. Sit down, hands go for the ride. Up, forward. Twist, shift, out, ward off, turn. How do hands go for the ride? Have you stored enough energy? Store that energy, roll back. Twist, open, in, embrace, then move your foot, rotate, bring him closer, use your core to push out. Okay, I'm really checking now. Drop your shoulders, flex your knees. Gravity takes care of it, don't stop. Coming down, up, off, toe, okay? All right, hopefully this lesson shows you that you have to clean up a little bit more. Hands definitely go for the ride. They do not lead your movement, okay? Good job.